the stuff that you're reiterating is coming from a guy who's a convicted felon. He's convicted of terrorism. He's convicted of felonies. He's got a rap sheet as long as my arm.
I was born, 6 gun in my hand. Behind a gun, I'll make my final stand. Hey, that's why they call me bad company, but I can't deny. Bad company till the day I die. Oh, till the day I die. Till the day I die.
Wow. I wasn't going to do another one of these episodes because I thought we'd already beaten that mule to death, but Tom Krol apparently can't keep his mouth shut. And the stuff that comes out of this guy's mouth is nothing short of unbelievable. You are going to get to hear live in his own voice all of the traits of a pathological liar, creating lies at will to simply serve whatever his purpose is at that moment. Case in point, the little intro that we just went into, where he calls me a convicted felon, convicted of terrorism. What? Where did that come from? I'm neither a convicted felon, nor have I ever been convicted of terrorism, whether it's a misdemeanor or felony or not. But this is the kind of stuff that this guy propagates out there, in addition to all of the lies and fraud that are built into the deceptions he's got in this course that he's been selling. And you're going to get to hear how he acts when he's called out by one of his own students who has simply requested a refund because he didn't feel comfortable deceiving sellers in advertising, on the phone, and in contracts. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a brief overview of what you're about to hear so you can have some context here. This phone call is a phone call directly between Tom and the student, and you are going to get to hear Tom dance around like he's on a hot tin roof as he tries to weasel his way out of providing the guy a refund that he's already agreed to. What he did was, instead of just providing the refund, he then sent him a very poorly written waiver of liability, general and mutual release, and what he's calling a non-disclosure agreement. And he wanted the kid to sign it because the kid had simply asked in the, whatever that thing is called, the Rhino group or whatever, if Tom could simply document the 100+ HUDs from the 100+ deals he said he did on the Bigger Pockets podcast in his first 18 months in the business.
Warning, bullshit alert.
Now, I don't know about you, but somebody puts out there that, hey, I've done 100+ deals in my first 18 months in the business, and I'm selling a course to show you how to do the exact same thing. I don't think it's unrealistic for somebody to ask for a little bit of due diligence and say, hey, are you able to document that? Because that's a pretty wild claim, especially for a guy that goes out there and profusely states over and over again that he doesn't know anything about real estate, but somehow he managed to do 100+ deals in the first 18 months of being in the real estate investment game, which, let me do the math for you guys. That's an average of one closing every 5 days for 18 months, starting out not knowing anything, not knowing how to run comps, not knowing how to estimate repairs, not knowing how to go in and close a seller, not knowing the process of clearing the title, one closing every 5 days for 18 months. It's actually more than one closing every 5 days because he said he did over 100 deals in his first 18 months.
Bam, 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 bam.
So if you can imagine for a second, someone starting off with no knowledge, no experience, no resources, and claiming that they did a deal every 5 days for the first 18 months starting out, you can understand why we believe it to be absolutely preposterous. Now, what we've done is we've gone back and Tom has documented in the Duff and Toback Stepbrothers podcast that his stepbrother runs exactly when he closed his first deal and what the address is. So we have that.
Prestige worldwide. Prestige worldwide.
And so the kids simply wanted to know, hey, can you document 100 HUDs? Because you'd have to have them together because the income would have been filed on a tax return. So there's a folder someplace in his office or in his house that would contain the 100 plus HUD 1 settlement statements showing him paid out as an assignor on an assignment fee or his LLC. And this is the reason that Tom used to try to basically hush up or gag the kid from doing anything else and get him to sign away all of his rights in this idiotic release it's something he obviously put together on his own, because he's missing a lot of clauses and he doesn't even cover himself personally in it. He covers the LLC. He's not smart enough to understand that you've got to cover yourself in these things and your successors and or assigns as their interests may appear. And it gets even better. In this call, he's going to be proclaiming that there's some legal thing that he's getting involved in, a lawsuit supposedly against me. Now, after 3.5, 4 weeks since the original podcast came out, nothing. I don't have anything from any attorneys. The reason I don't have anything from any attorneys is because there's nothing that I have put out that is incorrect or not true. There's no slander. There's no defamation of character. For that to be the case, what I stated would have to be not true. But it's all been corroborated by Tom's best friend. It's all been corroborated by numerous other of Tom's students that have approached me and provided all the documentation. Everything that I've stated is 100% documented, not only in writing, from his own website, in his own words, from his best friend, and from his other student. He goes on in this idiotic rambling of a phone call to say that myself and another investor by the name of Rich Urban came after his family. And what he claims that we have done, which we haven't, just like neither one of us are felons, as you'll hear him say, is that we posted his address online and had guys come over to his house. Doesn't say what the guys did, what they wanted, anything, but it's this psychotic rambling and manufacturing stuff stating that somebody else is out to get you. I mean, it's like paranoid schizophrenia combined with pathological lying, as you're going to hear, as he tries to weasel out and give every possible reason not to give the refund that he's already agreed to give. Now, I don't know where Tom lives. I don't care where Tom lives. I've never posted his address online. Even if I had, which I haven't, even if Rich had, which he assures me that he didn't, this isn't some big secret. There's a thing called the property tax records that has everybody that owns a home's address online on the internet. If you're a real estate investor for 2 seconds, you know how to get this information. As more of Tom's unbelievable, absolutely outrageous claims, he goes on to say that he has the most successful real estate investing course in the country.
Warning, bullshit alert.
And I heard this and I was like, come again? By what metric is that? Where does that come from other than outside your own brain? Where is it documented anywhere that you have the most successful real estate course in the country? Pretty sure that your course is not more successful than Carlton Sheets, who makes $65 million a year from his No Money Down course, which is documented. If all that wasn't enough, Tom goes on to claim idiotically that he has 3 full-time attorneys on his staff.
Warning, bullshit alert.
Now, I want you guys to think about that for a second. He claims he has 3 full-time attorneys on his staff. Now, I've seen these documents, and I'm going to tell you from personal experience, every single one of them that I've seen looks like a copy and paste job by Tom. And if these things are being prepared by an attorney, the attorney needs to be fired and go back to law school, because they're missing element after required element in a contract. The most basic elements and tenets of a contract are missing. You're also going to get to hear Tom proclaim that he hasn't taught people to commit fraud or to falsely advertise. Yet his best friend says he was taught by Tom to falsely advertise and to deceive sellers and to commit fraud. So one of them is lying. Which one is it? We've already documented which one it is, and it's not Theo Davis. If all that wasn't enough, you're going to get to hear him idiotically proclaim that there's no fraud in his course, because if there were, he'd be shut down. Well, that's kind of the direction that we're going in, Tom, because what you're teaching is fraud, and it is false advertising. And you are telling people to commit mail fraud, and you are engaged in racketeering. And I'm out here openly stating it without any fear of prosecution from you, without fear of lawsuits, litigation, anything else, because it's all documented. In yet another moronic statement, he says, you can't commit fraud. It's not legal. If I was committing fraud, I'd be in jail. Really? It's like saying you can't murder somebody because it's not legal. You can't speed because it's not legal. You can't buy and sell drugs because it's not legal. Really? People do these things every single day. It's only illegal when you get caught. Now, In addition to all that, as justification for us simply documenting the truth of what it is that he's doing and teaching and how incorrect and illegal it is, the argument becomes that myself and Rich Urban are competing coaches. I don't teach any kind of course on wholesaling, nor does Rich. He goes on and rambles on with these wild, exaggerated claims of, oh, you don't want to be a part of this because there's a big lawsuit coming. Big lawsuit coming. Tom, I really genuinely hope you're stupid enough to try to sue me for slander and defamation, for what we already have documented, for what we already have recorded from your best friend, because let me explain to you how that works. If you haven't listened to it already, I'd advise you listen to one of the prior podcasts I did on why you never want to use an attorney, because I don't need an attorney to defend myself in litigation. What the attorney is going to do is get you all hopped up that you have some claim, which you don't, so they can get you to plop down a retainer, probably somewhere between $5 and $10 grand. So they can either send me a demand letter, which I'm going to laugh at in their normal saber rattling routine, or they can go ahead and file an all-out lawsuit, which I'm going to laugh at also. And then you're going to have to start picking up the bill for 10 to 15 grand a month in, month out for attorney's fees, because it's going to run easily $250,000 on your end to get this thing to trial. In the process, guess what I get to do? I get to subpoena the 100 HUDs. I get to subpoena all of your financial records. I get to subpoena all of your student records. I also get to depose you personally. And what that means, in case you're not aware of it, is that we're going to be sitting in a room and I'm going to be asking you questions and you're going to have to answer them. And not like you do this nonsense that you do in these videos and all this hopped up like you're on cocaine bouncing around. You're going to have to answer direct questions. And you're going to look like an idiot in front of a judge or a jury if you try that fast-talking, bouncing around nonsense. Problem is, you don't have a claim. The problem is, instead of doing what we told you to do and correcting the stuff years ago, you just continued on taking people's money without any regard for them, time of theirs that you were wasting, the money of theirs that you were wasting, so that you could teach them something predicated on deception. And it's not okay. It's just not okay, man. For those of you that are listening, the kid in this call, he's 28 years old. He makes $2,000 a month as a guy that cleans pools for a living. Ended up doing a title loan on his car so he could pay for Tom's course, only to find out that not only was Tom not openly available, I guess, as he proclaimed in whatever marketing it was that he did to get the original money, but that he was going to be required to deceive sellers. And he didn't feel comfortable doing that. When he started inquiring as to the validity of what I had stated in the podcast, he's met with what you're about to hear. Now, here's the bottom line. The truth needs no defense, none whatsoever. You're going to get to hear Tom Krol commit slander, defamation, and tortious interference, as well as lie repeatedly all throughout this
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
This is the Virtual Real Estate Investor Podcast with Vincent Polisi. Buckle your seatbelt and prepare to learn how to legally make six figures investing in real estate with no money, no credit check, and nothing but a computer and internet connection. Learn how you too can begin generating buyers and sellers for free today, and why you're only 2 calls away from making a $10,000 or more payday while never leaving the comfort of your home. And now, your host, the virtual real estate investor, Vincent Polisi.
For those of you that are listening to this, I've got 2 added bonuses for you. First and foremost, if you were suckered into this thing and paid money to learn how to falsely advertise and do bait and switch to generate buyers and sellers, to deceive sellers face-to-face when you were presenting them a contract based on what your intention in the contract was, to put bogus clauses in the contract to then be able to buy yourself time to then find an assignee while the seller thinks that you're buying the property and paying cash because you've advertised yourself out there as a cash buyer. If you wasted time, energy, and money on mailers, on bandit signs, on postcards, on whatever, based on this model, you absolutely can get a refund regardless regardless of what contract that you signed. You're going to have 12 months of protection through Visa and MasterCard automatically. If you need help with that, let me know. I'll be happy to show you exactly how it works. You may get the argument that because you signed some contract that you don't have that ability to get a refund, and that is absolutely not true because of what is called fraud in the inducement. Obviously, you didn't know that you were being suckered into a course where the objective to make money was going to be to deceive people on a routine basis, and so you absolutely can get your money back. Secondly, somebody's got to stop this guy from being able to do this to other people going forward, and so to aid in that, we have put up Tom Krol ClassActionLawsuit.com, which is a website where you can go in. If you are one of these students that's been taught to commit fraud, you can enter your information and you can become a class action plaintiff in a class action lawsuit. We already have enough people to file the class action. The way it works is the more we have, the better off it will be for everyone. You can get your money back. You can get other punitive damages in this because you've been taken for a ride and had your time and money wasted while learning these fraudulent programs. It's absolutely not acceptable. So Tom Krol, ClassActionLawsuit.com, go fill out the form, submit any documentation that you have, and then you can become a class action plaintiff as well. Doesn't cost a dime. Somebody's got to stop this guy, and you can be the change that helps make that happen. So go to Tom Krol, ClassActionLawsuit.com, fill out the form, provide your documentation, and let's clean the industry up. Do not let him get away with this. And on a personal note, based on the commentary that you're about to hear, I'm going to get with Rich Urban and determine whether or not we collectively would like to file a lawsuit against Tom ourselves individually based on the slander, defamation, and tortious interference that you're about to hear directly from Tom.
You there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry about
Hey, I just lost you. I apologize. I'm by the side of my house here that does that. So talk to me, man. Talk. What do you got going
on. As far as what?
So tell me what is the issue? What are you? Because I am definitely 100% happy to give you your deal back, but I just don't I don't trust these guys, man.
Well, I mean, it has nothing to do with anybody but me. I just want my refund.
I'm happy to give it to you.
Okay,
I'm happy to give it to you, but here's the thing. I need you to sign something. And the reason is because this goes way beyond you and me. And the problem is, because you posted that stuff in the group and because, it's like, you kind of reiterated a lot of stuff from the podcast and from Rich Urban. The problem is I'm in what I'm just going to say is a legal thing with these guys that's much bigger than you and me. And I've got to make sure that they're not going to use you and, all that kind of stuff. Hey, how are you? And that's
hey, look, Tom. Tom, that's between you guys. I don't have anything to do with anybody. I don't want to sign anything. I'm not going to sign anything. I just want my refund.
Unfortunately, I can't do it, brother, because they came after my family, so it's part of a lawsuit. And I'm just telling you, they posted online at my address and my phone number while my wife and my 4 kids were home alone. And I had men showing up to my house. And they literally, it's a much bigger thing.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire. Squirming, pants are burning. When I lie, my hips start turning.
So I know for you it's not a big thing. I just legally
Tom,
can't do it.
I'm sorry that's happening to you, but I don't see what that has to do with me.
Well, nothing. I just don't want
you
you to
can't give
be
me a refund because of that.
No, I can legally give you a refund, and I'm willing to, but I'm not doing, I have a contract that says that, you owe me X amount. I'm not going to enforce it, but
well, the contract
I just don't
says I'm entitled to a complete refund.
Yeah, we're willing to give you the refund, but I've got to have you sign something.
It never said that I could only get a refund if I sign anything, right?
Where does your refund say that you're entitled to a refund?
It says it right on the contract that I signed.
I don't think it does. As a matter of fact, it says just the opposite. It says that there is no refund in the course.
Go look it up. No, it didn't say that.
Okay, I will. I'll have the attorney take a second look.
But I don't care. I mean, the contract's relevant to me anyway. I just want the refund.
I want to give it to you, But you got to tell me, like, what is your intention, because you're reiterating what these guys who are coming after my – you see, the thing is, brother, these guys are coming after my family, and that comes before you and me. I don't care about anything else. I'll go to –
what power you think I have with these guys.
That's why I'm saying I don't know. So I don't know, why would you be reluctant to just say, hey, Tom, you know what? You were a good guy. You asked me to pause it. I paused it. There was not even a question. There was no hesitation. I did the right thing.
Well, do you not you believe in your course, right?
100%. It's the most successful.
Then why do you need me to sign anything?
Because you're in alliance with these guys, because you're reiterating everything that they're saying, brother. I'm telling you, Michael, that's the reason. And I care. I've got a newborn baby, and they're sending guys to my house. That's not an exaggeration.
I'm telling you that that's the truth.
Not you, but you're reiterating everything that they're saying. That's what, put yourself in my position. You have a family. You love your family, right? I'm telling you, that's the situation I'm in. I'm a good guy. The stuff that you're reiterating is coming from a guy who's a convicted felon. He's convicted of terrorism. He's convicted of felonies. He's got a rap sheet as long as my arm.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire, squirming, pants are burning. When I lie, my hips start hurting.
And he's sending guys.
Look, Tom, that's got nothing. That has nothing to do with me. Okay.
Well, it does, because you're reiterating.
You got to issue me a refund. I'm going to have to file a credit card chargeback.
Brother, I'm telling you, I think we should just let lawyers handle this. Then I'm not willing to do it unless you sign it. You can do the thing, and I'll send this to my attorney, and we'll just let her attorneys deal with it. It's in this particular case, unless you say you're not going to, because I just don't trust these guys. I think they're going to use you. You're reiterating what they're going to say.
I'm always a nice guy. What would they use me for?
So here's what they're doing. If you listen to what they're doing, they're secretly recording my students. Dio Davis, who's one of my best friends, who actually came over to my house to visit me, he called me and profusely apologized. This guy was secretly. I mean, there's a whole lawsuit here, man. I'm telling you, you don't understand. There's stuff in the background that's going on, and the problem is with you is when you're saying this stuff, and you're like, you're putting it out there, and you're putting it in the group, and you're, doing this. You're showing me that you're
I'm out of the group. I'm out of the group. I got nothing to do with the group. You kicked me out. You haven't given me a refund, but you still kicked me out of the group.
Yeah, well, you haven't paid for the course.
Okay, so give me a refund.
You're only partially paid. Bro, I'm willing to give you a refund, but tell me, why are you not willing to sign something that says you're not going to be bashing me? I mean, tell me, is there a reason? I mean, tell
Bash
me.
You where?
Let's be straight. Let's just be straight with each other, bro.
The fact that you're holding my refund ransom over me, why won't you give it to me?
Bro, let's just let the attorneys deal with this. I'm telling you, that's the best thing for both of us. It's getting hairy. I'm willing to give it to you. I'm just saying, sign a non-disclosure. If you don't want to sign it, I understand.
Tom, your course instructs me to commit fraud.
No, it didn't, brother. I went to an attorney. That's what Vincent, he's a convicted felon, is telling you.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire, squirming, pants are burning. When I lie, my hips start hurting.
There is no fraud in my course. I have 3 attorneys who have reviewed my course. There is absolutely no fraud. That's what I'm afraid, that you're going to go out and say exactly what you just said.
Well, if there is
and
no
it's not
fraud,
true.
why does it matter if I did go and say that? Like
because
I said,
then you're going to be part of a bigger.
And stand behind it and give me a refund.
Bro,
Who cares
I
if I go and say
you
committed fraud to whoever? It doesn't matter who I say it to anyway. If it's not fraud, then why do you care?
It's not fraud, but now there's a lawsuit.
And why does it matter what I say?
Well, because it's, you know why? Because it's not true.
It doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, if it's not true, then why are you? What are you scared of?
I'm not scared of anything.
Me?
The only person.
Why are you trying to silence me?
I'm not trying to silence you, bro. Tell me, is that what it is? If you're just straight with me, tell me what the deal is. If you want to go out there and bash me, tell me, Tom, you're such a bad guy. You paused the billing when I asked you to. I offered you a refund when you asked me to. I don't know what else you want from me, man.
My problem is you won't give me a refund until I sign something.
That's where I'm at. I'll call my attorney back. Let me see what he says, but I doubt he's going to want me to do it. Because this is part of a much bigger. Your particular refund is part of a much bigger problem. You're saying you have nothing to do with these guys, but you're telling me I'm committing fraud, which I'm not. Just you saying that I'm committing fraud, you're telling me that, brother, you don't even understand. You can't even say that. That's not. You're
holding my refund from me.
That's not fraud. And I'm just
look, keep me on the line. Let's get your attorney on the line and keep me on the line right now.
No, I can't do that. It's a private conversation. Let me call my attorney. I'll see what he says. Because he's thinking, well, let me talk to him. I don't think he's going to let me issue a refund. I think if you're going to, the best thing to do is, I hate to I don't know why you're doing this, man, but it's like, if you want to fight this thing, we can. I don't understand going this route. I'm a good guy. You asked me to stop billing. I stopped billing immediately. Now you're telling me I'm trying to get you to commit fraud.
Tom,
by you saying that.
I'm getting a refund one way or another. You could either participate in it and help me get it and try to save face, or you can fight me on this $1,900 that I need that is irrelevant to you because you want to hush me. So it's up to you how you want to do it. One way I'm getting it.
Yeah, brother, this is very threatening. I hear what you're saying. You're very angry at me. I don't know why. But this guy that you're listening to, who's telling you I'm telling you to commit fraud, he's a convicted felon, and I'm not.
Look, Tom, if I have to file a charge back, I will. If I have to sue you in small claims, I will. It's up to you how you want to do it.
I think that's what I want to do, bro. Let's do that. Let's do the court thing, because I have a contract. You have your opinion about me committing fraud. I think we should hash this one out, because I have a feeling I'm gonna end up regret just signing you over. It's $1,900, and I think it's going to be the biggest regret if I just sign it to you without sending a non-disclosure. I just have a sinking feeling that you're telling me I'm committing fraud and I'm not. That's very accusatory. I know these guys are just waiting to sink their teeth into you. You're regurgitating everything that they're saying. I don't understand why, but obviously you heard their stuff and you believe it, and it's not true. I don't understand this position. I've never been in this position. These guys are total frauds. They're convicted felons, and you're telling me I'm committing fraud. I'm not. There is no fraud in my course. I'd be shut down.
In regards to your course, are you saying that lying to these sellers isn't fraud?
What? Where am I lying to sellers?
By having people say that we're going to purchase their homes.
Yeah, bro,
nothing up front saying we're reassigning these contracts. That's the whole intent.
In every single contract and conversation, we're disclosing that it's assignable and that we're assigning contracts.
But that's our intent, are you getting to reassign it?
It says it all over the place, everywhere, on every document, that it's assignable and that we're intending to make a profit by assigning. I don't know what you're talking about.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire, squirming, pants are burning. When I lie, my hips start turning.
So if I call myself a cash buyer when I'm not, that isn't false advertising?
How is it, brother? If the guy says that you can have the house for a super discounted price and you have the cash, you can buy it, then it's not false advertising. You're listening to people that are not.
For it.
Well, how do you not have the cash for it? If somebody says that low
hundreds
enough
of thousands
price,
of dollars, I don't have the cash for it.
Bro, you're trying to make a jurisdiction case here. I just don't, I hear you. I know you're mad at me, but I'm telling you, I've done nothing but try to help you. And you want to listen to these guys who are frauds and convicted felons, and I'm not, and I've done nothing but try to help you. You asked me to pause the course. I would said, bro, you're a family guy, pause the course. I don't care. I don't care about stupid money. I'll pause the cost. You told me you want a refund? I said, absolutely. But you're regurgitating all this stuff about fraud to me, and you expect me to just write you a check for $1,900? Bro, I can't do that. This guy sent literally guys over my house.
My money.
I'm happy to do it, but you got to sign something that says you're not going to join forces with this. And you may not believe this, but I'm trying to protect you, because I'm telling you, you don't want to be associated with these people. I am telling you that right now. I am trying to help you right now, because I'm telling you, you do not want to be associated with these people. Brother,
my refund.
I'll call my attorney. I very highly doubt he's going to let me release it. I'm telling you, if that's,
Tom, if you really want to help me, just issue me my refund.
I don't think I can, but I'll call him and I'll call you back. But I'm going to tell you he's not going to.
Because I don't think you want to help me.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't. I know that's exactly the problem. I know, and I don't think you want to help me. And that's the problem. Is I've got 4 kids, and this guy's sending guys over to my house. This guy put my wife's address when she's with the kids at the house with my address and my phone number and my gate code. I had guys come into my home. I mean, this guy is trouble, bro.
What guy and what does he have to do with me? This is the weird part that I'm.
Yeah, so this is the weird part for me. Initially, nothing. If you would have did that, I would have said, yeah, you want a refund? Of course, give him a refund. I don't care. The problem is you get into the group and you regurgitate this stuff from Rich Urban and from Vincent in your email. It's all directly from him. Even what you're saying right now, I'm committing fraud. I have 3 full-time attorneys on my thing.
Warning, bullshit alert.
If I was committing fraud, I'd be in jail. You can't commit fraud. I do this every day. You're not allowed to commit fraud. It's not legal. They're selling a program. These people who you're listening to sell a competing program. This is so ridiculous. I mean, bro, you have a family. I mean, this is crazy. I'm willing to give you a refund, but I'm not going to just hand over $1,900 and then have these guys manipulate you into saying, oh, yeah, Tom, he is committing fraud. There's no way. There's no way. I'll talk to my attorney, but I doubt he's going to do it. I mean, there's no way,
attorneys?
Man. I mean, my attorneys are private, but I have attorneys that I talk to that advise me on everything I do now at this point because
Dumbest lawyer on earth.
of what
You
this
can't give me
clown
your
is doing to me.
attorney's names?
No, but I mean, they'll contact you if we get to that point. But let me call.
Tom,
talk to them.
why would it matter if I did say you're not committing fraud?
Why would it matter if you said you didn't?
Why does it matter what I say if you're not committing fraud? That's what.
Well, if you say I'm committing fraud, I'm just telling you.
You say you're not. Then why does it matter what some guy says you do?
Well, it matters because we're trying to get a lot of people to be successful, and that's going to affect them. And it also matters because it's a lie, and I have a family, and I have an extended family. I don't want people out there saying that I'm committing fraud.
Well, that's my point. If it's a lie, then you don't have to silence anybody.
Oh, no, that is absolutely not true. You have the right to say anything you want, especially on a public forum.
Yeah, but if it's a lie, why does it matter?
If it happens to you, and I hope it never doesn't, I hope it never does, you'll understand. If you have a family and they're listening to you and you're getting phone calls that are saying, hey, Mike, why are you committing fraud? And you have to explain to them that you have attorneys and you're not. It's embarrassing. I can give you a lot of reasons why. It's embarrassing. People are like, oh, I don't want to be associated with you if you're committing fraud. And even though you haven't been found to be committing fraud, and you're obviously not, because you'd be in prison if you were, that's why it matters. I'm being totally straight with you, man. I don't know if you've already done something with these guys and that's why you're hesitant to do this, or if you've already reached out to them and, I don't know what you've done, but right now, you're on the side of these guys who, like I said, I'm getting guys coming over to my house. I mean, that was ridiculous. And I'm also, well, you don't believe me, but I'm just telling you, you don't want to be doing anything with these guys where you're accusing me of fraud, especially in a public forum. I am telling you right now, you do not want to do that because I am telling you, you're going to see what's going to happen legally. I'm just telling you. So I really hope that you haven't done that. I hope you haven't made the mistake of putting an alliance with yourself with these guys, because I am telling you, they are absolutely no good people, man. Check out did you look at this guy's record?
Who?
The people who are distributing this information. Have you looked at their record?
Tom, I wanted a refund from you way before any podcast came out.
Well, I've never had. When? Show me that. When was that?
I can show you messages I had with another guy. You gave a refund that had way before anything. We just weren't happy with the course. Yeah,
so, I don't know, man. Something smells fishy to this one. I don't know. I'm going to talk I'll talk to the attorney. I just don't get it, man. I don't know. If you were being straight with me and said, Tom, I already did something, or I plan on doing something, or, I want to call you a fraud in public and I want to bash you. I mean, that's fine if you were telling me that, but there's something that I can't put my finger on that you've either already done or you're planning on doing. And at the end of the day, I'm just telling you, man, you don't want to be, I'm a good guy, and I'm going to, you'll see that everything will come out on
Tom,
top here. But
if you're a good guy, just give me a refund. I've never bashed you or called you a fraud or anything.
Well, you just did a second ago, brother. Michael, you just did a minute ago. You said,
in any kind of public forum. I'm talking
fraud.
to you one-on-one. Never gone to anybody and bashed you. No.
Are you going to do that? Well, then just sign a piece of paper
I
that
just
says
want my refund.
It's a gentleman's agreement. I know. Well, then just sign an agreement that just says
gentleman's agreement and just give me a refund.
Yeah. But I'm saying, are you willing to sign what you just said?
No, because the fact that you want to hold money over me until I sign something, that's a trigger to me. What does that mean about
honestly,
you?
Based on what it means about me is I'm going to tell you, I honestly don't trust you. I feel like you're already done something or you're planning to. I just don't trust you because what you said in the email and what you put on the Facebook group, and I'm just telling you, Let me call my attorney. Let me see what he wants to do.
Your
But
trust
I think
me has nothing to do with my refund. Why do you?
it does. That's why I'm asking you to sign that. Yeah, bro. It's not. I'm not doing it. I'm actually going to tell you, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it unless you sign.
Well,
I'm not gonna do it. Otherwise, you
when I signed up that I was entitled to a refund as the contract states.
Well, let me call the attorney. I'll have him look at the contract right now. Because if that's the case, then I'll give you the refund. If he says that,
you can't call him up right now with me on the phone.
Absolutely not, brother. I would never do that. He's on my side. He's for me, and he would be. That's what I pay him for. No, so let me call him now, and then I will call you right back. I'll let you know what he says, and I'll tell you if your contract says that, then I'll issue the refund. But I don't think it says that. But I'll
when are you going to call me back?
As soon as he calls me back, he usually calls me back within 24 hours. So you'll hear from me tonight or tomorrow morning. I'll know right away. I mean, that's what we're, if you're telling me you're not going to do it and you're not willing to put it in writing after what, I don't understand that. There's got to be a reason. If you're willing to say, Tom, I'm not going to be coming after you.
What do you think I'm going to do?
Honestly, this guy is such a psychopath that I don't even know what he's going to do. I honestly mean that.
Who's the guy that...
I can't say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. But here's the deal. The people that you're getting this information from that's telling you I'm committing fraud and all this other garbage, they're such psychopaths that I'm telling you that I don't even know what they're capable of doing. And they're going to drag you right into it. Just competing coaches, man. They're just competing coaches. I mean, they've turned my life upside down, man. They're sending people to my house. They put my address online while my wife is home with the kids. I mean, you have no idea what I've had to go through. It's ridiculous.
Who are these dudes you keep harping on?
I can't tell you their names, but it's I just can't legally because we're opening up a huge lawsuit against them. But it's just competing coaches. But that's the deal, man. So if you're saying look, bro, if you're a good guy and you're saying, look, Tom, I'm not going to do it. I haven't done it. Then sign it, and I'll send it to you right now. But by you saying you're not going to sign it, that says you're not going to do it. It doesn't make it smells funny, man. So that doesn't make sense about that. I mean, if you were in my position, you'd say the same thing. If I'm saying, hey, I agree, it's no problem, I'll send it right over. And I'm saying,
no, if I believed in what I was doing and I knew there was nothing wrong with it, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't try to silence anybody.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is that I think that you think that
if you're not doing anything wrong, what position would I have to do anything?
Well, they could use you however they want, man. You could be used like a pawn. They'll put you on a podcast. They'll, have you record something. That's what they do. These guys are crazy, man. They're crazy. I mean, they're I don't know what they'll do with you. But, when they sink their teeth into you, they're going to drag you kicking and screaming right into a massive problem that I'm telling you don't want. I'm telling you, man, you do not want to be involved with these clowns. I am telling you, you don't understand what they're accusing me of mail fraud and racketeering and being a crook and all this stuff. I am telling you, you have no idea how bad it is going to get for the people who are doing that. And you do not want to be mixed up with these people. So,
You're right. I don't understand. What does it have to do with me?
Because everything that you're saying is exactly what they're saying. And it's right at the same time that it came out. So that's what the problem is. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you put yourself in my shoes, this is logical. You're saying exactly what they're saying. It makes no sense.
And why does that matter?
Why does it matter? Because that's what the whole point of this whole conversation is. That's the whole problem. Is what. Let me call the attorney, man. I don't have anything else to say about it. I mean, that's it. I don't know. I don't know what else I could tell you. I've been a good guy to you the whole time, but you think I'm trying to get you to commit fraud. That's a major problem. That's a major problem for me.
You're good at taking my money, and now you're bad at giving it back to me.
No, I'm not really good at taking it. You agreed to pay me 3 payments of $1,900. The moment you asked me to stop, I didn't charge you another penny.
Yeah, and
that was really nice to do.
That was nice, but it'd be nicer if you gave me the money back.
Well, I already gave you the services of the coaching, so that's, but you think I'm trying to convince you to do fraud, right? That's what you're saying? That's coming from those people. I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. I care about you. I know you might not think I do, but I do. I did the right thing for you the whole entire way through.
When I signed up for the course, I didn't know I was going to be deceiving people. I didn't want to do it, and I want my money back. So,
all right, I'll call the attorney. That's all I got, man. I don't have anything else for you. I'm sorry. I'll call the attorney now, and I'll find out. It's 6 o'clock. He actually works late, so I'll call him now. He might give me an answer on the spot. I'll have him pull your thing, and I'll see what he says. If you say that there's a refund in there, I don't know. I have to look at the contract, but I don't know, man. This particular one, I just don't. I'm not with you on this, Ben. You're accusing me of some pretty serious stuff when you're telling me I'm trying to deceive people. I'm not doing that. So I just want to make sure that. Well, let me talk to him. I'll get back with you. Let me have a conversation. I'll call you in the next 24 hours. I'll let you know where he stands, and then we'll just go from there.
So you won't be giving me a refund right now?
Not this second. Absolutely not, man. No way. No, you're telling me one thing, and then you're doing another. You're telling me I can count on you, and you're not going to do something. And then you're saying you're not willing to sign anything that says it. It just makes no sense. So let me jump. I got to go, man. I got kids at home. I got other stuff to do. So I'll call you within 24 hours. I'll let you know what he says.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Wow. So there you have it. It's hard to believe there's so much psychobabble and lies in one phone call, combined with all of the hot tin roof dancing and bouncing around. And for the life of me, I've yet to figure out why this guy always has to do everything outside. Is he not wanting his wife to understand what's going on, or what? Nonetheless, let me go ahead and clarify a few things here real quick. I have got the documents that he's referring to, his contracts, all that was submitted to me before we ever did the first podcast. And they do not say that the intent is to assign, nor do they say that the intent is to assign for a fee or a profit. That is not what they say at all. Now, he may have changed them after the first podcast, like Joe McCall did when I busted him on his fraud docs. And hopefully that's what happened, and they're actually using stuff that's legitimate and shows the actual intent. I doubt it. I seriously doubt that he stopped telling people to go out there and falsely advertise that they're cash buyers when they're not, which is exactly what he does, as has been confirmed by his best friend. But anyway, there you have it. Now, Tom, if I can give you a piece of advice, if you stop screwing people, they'll stop sending me all of this stuff, because you're making it way too easy, man.
Looks like I've hit the jackpot. Oh, this is just too good.
Now, like I said previously, you got suckered into this thing and spent money and wasted money on mailers, lying to sellers that you're a cash buyer when you weren't, because you were instructed to do so by Tom and all this rah-rah nonsense. You absolutely are entitled to a refund because you were taught to commit fraud. He does not get to keep money because he taught you to falsely advertise, to bait and switch, to lie and deceive sellers, to commit fraud in the inducement, fraud in the factum, mail fraud. No, he does not get to profit from that. I don't care what your contract says. Once the merchant bank providers hear the audio of what he has been teaching and see the documentation, if you have to file a chargeback, you will get your money back. For those of you who want to take a stand and take it a step further to help clean the industry up and protect other people from scams like this, Tom Krol, ClassActionLawsuit.com. Tom Krol, ClassActionLawsuit.com. Fill out the form, submit your docs, be part of the revolution.
You've been listening to the Virtual Real Estate Investor Podcast with Vincent Polisi. If you've enjoyed this podcast, be sure to connect with Vincent at virtualrealestateinvestor.org, Facebook at facebook.com/virtual real estate investor, or at Vincent's private Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/virtual real estate investor.